Hello, and welcome to the Vlogging Pod. Tonight, we are joined by Zafra Lerman, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. Welcome to the room. How are you this evening?
Wonderful. Looking forward to hearing your voice.
Awesome. Did I pronounce your name right? Because pronunciation is my downfall.
No, every American downfall. So don't feel bad. I gave up on correcting.
I'm horrible at it. I'll even ask Google and everything, and I get so tongue-tied, even on the most normal words. I'm the worst at pronunciation.
So don't feel bad about my name because everybody mispronounced it. But if you want to pronounce it correct, it's Zafra.
Zafra.
Like TV.
Zafra. Okay, Zafra. Am I doing it right?
As right as you can.
Well, you're very gracious. Thank you very much. Now, I have to let everyone know you are, and it's in the bio of the room, just in case anyone hasn't seen it, but you are a world-renowned chemist, an educator, a peacebuilder who has pioneered the use of science diplomacy to foster dialogue and collaboration in the world's most volatile regions. I feel like I need applause for that. Hold on a minute. We'll give it another one. Yeah!
I'm joining your recording in applauding.
Now, when you think back to those late night walks through Moscow to meet dissidents, what gave you the courage to keep pushing for human rights, even when it put your own safety on the line?
I think that probably my upbringing gave me values and strengths to do things that not many people would do them. For me, it was important that these dissidents that did nothing wrong just asked to live the country they live in. And for that, they were fired from work and then blamed as parasites. Few were sent to prison. Few were sent to hard labor in Moscow. And I felt that it's my obligation to help these people. So I didn't feel fear. First, I took a crash course in Russian, so I would not use a KGB translator. And this made it easier to do what I had to do. But from the other point of view, if you walk with a translator, at least you walk with somebody at midnight in dark alleys.
Right.
But I did it all by myself. I had to enter the Soviet Union with a group of scientists, and during the day we gave lectures in universities. And then at dinner time, I would identify somebody that I felt would not get scared. Usually it was a woman that I thought is brave enough for me to talk to her. And I would say, listen, don't ask me question, but if I'm not here tomorrow for breakfast, just call the American embassy. And I didn't feel fear when I did it. And as I look at that today, I think it was a little bit crazy. But when I did it, it was for me natural that this is what I had to do because everything I did was illegal. It was illegal to distribute scientific material to this dissident. It was illegal to give them a seminar, what I did at 2:00 in the morning in a dark attic. It was illegal to bring their CVs back, and I brought. And a lot of these people are free today and working because I risked my life. But the biggest pleasure is to see that the people are free and happy. As one of the dissidents, wrote a letter about me to nominate me for the Andrei Sakharov Award in Human Rights, what I
Mm,
received. But he wrote by himself. I, I wondered what makes a person living in freedom risking their life for somebody that they don't even know that suffers on the other side of the globe. And then
mm,
he writes, I realized that the suffering person and his American angel, he refers to me, have
mhm.
something in common. And they did for science a messy job that you cannot find on pages of scientific journals. They made science human and humane. And I love this sentence that he wrote in a recommendation letter because for sure these people, the people that were in this person was in hard labor in Siberia. He just was sticking to his values. He was refusing to do what he was told to do. And he followed his own beliefs, and I followed my beliefs. And it's a huge pleasure to see that you can bring freedom to a person that doesn't have it.
Yeah.
If I
Now,
will do it today, I don't know. You have to be
now,
a little bit younger, I think. Today,
uh,
I'm not sure I'm so brave.
I don't know. I think if the need is strong enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
The need, the
well,
resolve is strong enough at any age, you can accomplish that.
I did a lot. I am in China. I risked my life too. So
Mhm.
it it takes. I would not say it's being brave. It's being committed to the cause.
Right. Now, your book is titled Human Rights and Peace. It's a personal odyssey.
It's a
So,
memoir, correct? It's a
memoir.
memoir.
Mhm,
It described my childhood and the way I grew up,
mhm,
and then it described my careers. That was a research scientist, then building a big science institute where I developed this method of teaching science through art, music, dance, drama, rap, poetry,
mhm.
animation, to working for human rights, to now being the president of the Malta Conferences Foundation that uses science diplomacy as a bridge to peace in the Middle East.
Nice. So tell me how you came to where you are now in your life, growing up in Israel from the time until now.
I grew up in Israel. It was a developing country. I described in my book
Mhm,
that as a little girl, I I enjoyed every minute because we did not have special classes for gifted children. We did not have after
mhm,
school programs. We did not have cars, SUVs for the mothers to drive us all day around and not leave us alone for a minute.
mhm.
And I think growing up like that gave us a lot of opportunity to develop creativity because everything we had to find out how to play after school, how to play games. We did not have toys, so we had to make them. In addition, I felt like I am very rich. My father was one of the politicians. He worked with the Prime Minister Ben Gurion,
Mhm.
but we did not have even a hot shower in the house. But
Oh,
there
wow.
was one in the middle of town. So from a very young age, 4 years old, 5 years old, all of us kids went together to take a shower. It was a big event. And one day I come home and my father surprises me and shows me that we have a hot shower. I cried for days. I said, you did it on purpose to spoil my social life. I like to go with the kids to take a shower. Here I have to be alone. Why did you do it to me? I thought that it was the biggest disaster that happened to me, that we have a hot shower now at home. So it shows you that you grow up very differently and your mind is set differently. I thought it was great not to have it at home and going with the kids together. So it's a very different way of growing up. For example, when I was 6 years old, my father left a letter in my shoe. I went to school a year earlier because I graduated from kindergarten in one day.
Oh, wow.
I went and I saw the teacher pinch the child, and I came home and I said I finished kindergarten. Now I must make sure I can go to first grade. I will not go back. And that's what happened. So by 6, I could read. So he
Oh, wow.
left me a letter, and the letter said, "Today is your 6th birthday. I hope you will grow up to be loyal to your country, to your nation, and to your family." In this order, for 6 years old. And then he said, "I'm giving you this amount of money as a present for your birthday, and you will divide it to 3. One said you will give to the orphans, the children that lost their parents in the Holocaust, and they don't have parents, so you will donate to help them. One said you will give to the National Fund for planting trees, and one said you can do what you want." And if by the age of 6 you grow up like that, that you already have to share your money with important things, with helping the orphan kids, with planting trees. And so you grow very differently, and you feel always the need to make the planet a better place for everyone.
Right.
And this
So,
is why I did what I did.
so you started from a very humble beginning, but you aspired greatly. You became the scientist that you are, a chemist, an educator. Tell me how that leap happened.
I'll tell you a story. When I was in 3rd grade, I was 7 years old. Our teacher did not come. So the principal came in and said, "I am going to teach now algebra in 8th grade. Your teacher is not here. So I came to take all of you to the classroom where I will be. You will sit on the floor around and be quiet." And he took us and we sat there. He was teaching the 8th grader algebra, and then he wrote a problem on the blackboard. And he said, "Who can solve it?" Nobody could solve it. He said again, "Who can solve it?" After a few times, I raised my hand. Remember sitting on the floor, 7 years old. And he said, "Why are you raising your hand?" I said, "Because I can solve it." He said, "Did somebody teach you algebra?" I said, "No." I said, "But I can solve it." I went to the blackboard, solved it, and he started saying excellent in every language he knows. And then he wrote to my parents that I am like a sentence from the Bible, like a tree that is growing on the banks of the river. And it was a big, big deal. But since then, I knew already that I'm going to be a scientist. I knew it earlier because everything was, I had an unbelievable curiosity. When I was 3 years old, I sat with my father and there was a box. And suddenly I heard on the box, "This is the voice of Jerusalem." And I lived in Haifa. So I said to my father, "I'm in Haifa. How do I hear the voice of Jerusalem? How is it possible?" And people could not answer my question. And so I knew I'll be. And then in high school, we had already like majors in high school, like literature, economics and law, communication, and we had math and science. And we had to take tests, and then they placed us. And I ended up to be the only girl in my class. This is how I had to go through high school. So I already was on the direction to become a scientist.
So, but you didn't just do scientist. You did your chemistry, you became a scientist, and then you leaned more to teaching. Now, what pushed you more to want to be able to teach?
First, I had a child already.
Okay.
I got married very, very young and had a child as an undergraduate. So he attended my bachelor, master, and PhD. Number one. I did research and I enjoyed the research. But then different things in life made me feel that I'm not doing it on the level I want to do it, on the level I did before. And I always believed that science education is a human right that belongs to all. And I was very bothered going to scientific meetings and see that it's very homogeneous. There was no diversity. And it bothered me. So I decided that I will go to education. And I got an offer I could not refuse. I got an offer from a president in a school or in college for art and communication that was accredited as a liberal art, not as an art school, but a liberal arts. And they needed science and they did not have. And the president just made me an offer to come and build science from scratch, built a department. And I built a very successful science department with all the new methods of teaching, became very famous. I received a lot of money in grants. And then he wanted me to build a big science institute that became very famous. And I did not lack for money because the National Science Foundation wanted me to go. I'm now in Evanston, Illinois, where Northwestern University is, but it's next to Chicago. And the National Science Foundation gave me money to work with the teachers in the inner city in Chicago and show them how to teach with my methods. To make a long story short, it became very successful with underprivileged students. And students that never thought that they will touch science suddenly realize that they can be successful. So I worked with homeless kids that several of them went to study science and two even did a PhD in biochemistry. I worked with prisoners and I really felt that I'm making a difference. And I always told my students that science is a way of thinking. It's a critical thinking. It's a logical thinking. And I used to tell them always, if you go to a demonstration, I don't care what side you feel you want to be. All the time you do it from a knowledgeable, intelligent point of view. So if somebody asks you, why are you in this demonstration? You know to answer very well, why are you there? In contrast to demonstration that we saw students from Columbia University that were screaming different slogans that did not even understand what they meant when they were in.
You didn't just teach. the science and chemistry and all that. What you did was, and I found this interesting, you discovered that music, dance, and visual storytelling could reach your students even more successfully?
The right thing that the students taught me that, okay?
Mhm,
They showed me that they can learn better in different ways. When I
mm,
just started teaching, thanks to when I tried to explain a chemical reaction, and few students were puzzled, then students got up and assigned different students different chemicals and choreographed the dance. And the student says, "Oh, now I can see it. I understand it." So I said, "Oh, I better learn from my students how to teach." And they were my best teachers.
mm.
And therefore, like a music student, and I told the students I hated to write tests because I hated that I had in 1 hour to show my knowledge. And what if I don't feel well in this hour? So I told my students that we had a very famous rabbi. His name was Hillel. And he said, everything you hate to be done to you, don't do to your friends. I told my students, because every one of you is my friend, I cannot do to you what I hated to be done to me. You can show your knowledge in any media you want. You can dance, you can sing. For example, a music student did an excellent job explaining the depletion of the ozone layer, and he sang it all as a song, I Have Plenty of Ozone, to the music of I Have Plenty of Nothing.
Mm,
And it was just beautiful. And
mm.
one more advantage to that is that not only I evaluate the students, the whole class is involved in that. So it all was a very different atmosphere in the class.
Right. So, in your memoirs, you trace your journey from war-torn Israel to international diplomacy. What
Correct.
part of that what part of that do you feel shaped your voice the most?
What part of my journey?
Yes.
I
Mhm.
think my upbringing,
Your upbringing?
the values that were installed with me in me, always to make sure to help others,
Mhm.
always to make sure to be honest, and to if, do everything I can to do to make the world a better place. And this was instilled in me in very young age. Very young age.
So
And I never had any doubt. I always felt that this is my mission, this is my calling,
mhm.
to help people, to stop conflicts, to bring dissidents to freedom, to make science education available to all. It's all one package.
So let me ask you this, because do you ever find that those values that were instilled in you from a very young age, and I applaud your parents for that, but those things that were instilled in you, and after working multiple conflict zones and negotiating scientific cooperations across political divides, what keeps all of that still alive in you? Your growing up values, the hope, even on your hardest days, what keeps all that alive in you to keep going forward stronger?
Because I believe that we can speak peace. I believe that we can have a better world.
Mhm.
And what stands in the way is many times politicians,
Yeah,
because I believe in the people and I believe in everybody. I have beautiful titles,
yeah.
PhD, I'm a fellow of the Royal Society of Chemistry and all these. But to me, every person has titles in something. I
Mhm.
respect every person that works and tries to do their job and do something good. I respect these people because I think basically people want to see a peaceful world. People want to see everybody educated, but life just divides us all the time instead of
Yes.
unite us. And
Mhm.
I'm taking people from the most divided region. I bring together scientists from all the countries in the Middle East, and they are all in conflict with each other, in
Mhm.
wars, in all that. And I give them a platform to see what unites them, not what separates them. I give them a platform to stop demonizing the unknown other, and a platform that they can collaborate and develop friendships that can overcome the chasm of distrust and intolerance. And and after a few days, you don't know who came from which country. It's just a family working together because
Right.
science is international. Science doesn't see border, doesn't see religion, doesn't see culture, doesn't see language. It's international. So
Mhm.
they already have an international language and science, and they feel that this is what unites them. And I remember when the Iraqis came the first time, they came with tears in their eyes to me and they said, wow, all our life we learned that the Israelis are monsters, that they even look differently. And here we find the nicest people and the greatest scientists.
Mhm.
All our life we were lied
Yeah,
to. So I believe in people.
I agree
And
with that.
and what I do, I mentor everybody I meet, I mentor.
Mhm.
I'm a permanent mentor. I received from Bill Clinton the presidential award for mentoring, but I feel that if I can mentor many people to be successful, to to try to help others, to try to save the environment, I contribute. And I want my students to do the same. And
Mhm.
this is what I'm doing. And my book is it's a memoir. It has a lot of funny things. Somebody told me that could not stop laughing. There are
Let me
funny
ask
things.
you
Yeah.
let me ask you this. For those that for our listeners and for all those who reach for your book, and in today's sphere, everything that we see going on around us, and that can be from I'm in Ohio in the States, and if most people have listened to my political commentary, you probably understand where I'm coming from. So when you have people reaching for your book, what is it your hope and thoughts that they'll take away from that and what they will use the most in this world today?
My book is really almost for everybody because when I came to the States, I was a single mom. I got a divorce,
Mhm.
I got remarried, but I came to the States along with a child, no relatives whatsoever, nobody to help me, not financially, nothing. And I became successful. And I
Mhm.
want this book for people that came in my situation or are in this situation to see that they can be successful too. The book is showing a lot of changes I made in life of people. Everybody, you don't need a PhD in chemistry to work on human rights, to help people that their human rights is abused. You
Right.
want to do it. And my book is really comforting.
Oh, we lost you for a second.
Are you back?
Yeah, there you are. Okay, there you are. Go ahead.
What is okay? So
Yeah, we fizzled there for a second, but go ahead.
my book is an example what one woman can do. A foreigner, immigrant, you know, this that I want people to get. In addition, I want to say I donate all that to my project of science diplomacy as a bridge to peace in the Middle East. Because
Oh,
we are a group of volunteers that run this program. Every penny we raise goes to bring the Middle Eastern scientists to the conference. Costs a lot of money, every conference. We raise the money. So all the proceeds of my book go towards that. So everybody that buys my book, part of it goes towards science diplomacy as a bridge to peace in the Middle East.
commendable. Very commendable.
We are having a conference coming up next May.
Mhm.
So the fundraising is already going, and I hope that a lot of people will buy the book. So it will help us in the fundraising because the participants don't pay. We pay for
Mhm.
all of them. And they are coming for 5 days and several Nobel laureates. And we have to pay for all that and raise the money. So this is helpful. And if anybody wants to know more about this project, the website for the project is Malta Conferences Foundation.org. And there
Wonderful.
is a way how to donate, and it describes the conference. And everybody that reads my book, part of the money they pay goes towards the conference. So
I
it
I
came
have
out
truly.
now. Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
finish.
Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
just want to say that it came now out in paperback, so it's much more affordable.
Wonderful. I have This has been a delightful conversation. I actually would love to have you back on and break down even more if you want to on different stories you would like to from your book, from your past, any bit of it. I actually find myself lost in listening to you.
If you will read the book, you will learn. People told me that they could not put it down. There were
Wonderful.
people
I
that
will.
told me that, listen, the book really was supposed to be more than one book, but I
Mhm,
didn't have, because I was under a lot of pressure to write a book on the education part.
mhm.
And in the book, there is a huge chapter on that, but people wanted a book in more details. But we have a YouTube that shows all these creative projects that the students did, love story from sodium and fluorine to form table salt written like Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare, the Bondfather that described the chemical bond, exactly following the Godfather, Star Wars on the depletion of those on layer. There are unbelievable. There are dances on different scientific subjects. So I was under pressure to write this book, but they didn't have time. Then I was under pressure to write about my activities on human rights. Didn't have time.
Mhm.
Then there was a pressure to write about science diplomacy. There is one chapter in my book titled From Mission Impossible to Mission Possible. And it describes the obstacle to find a country to give a visa to all this group. No country. This group could not come to the US. At least 7 countries we have a ban that they cannot enter. But no country wants all my group. So it's a whole chapter showing all the methods I had to use in order to get a visa for everybody to come. There are parts like Sherlock Holmes or 007 to get a
Wow.
visa. So
Wow.
people wanted a book on that. And I wanted a book that will not be more than 200 pages. Today, people don't read more than 200 pages. I didn't want it to be so, but I think I managed to get the essence. And if ever anybody has question or more, they can always contact me or invite. I'm giving webinar, a
Mhm.
lot of webinar. I give a lot of lectures because a lot of people read the book and have questions. There is a description on my book about my mother that were 9 children and the Bolsheviks held. It was Russia. Now this part is Ukraine, but it was Russia killed the parents and the older brother. And they were
Mm.
left 8 orphans all along. My mother was one before the youngest, so she was very, very young. And their mother had a necklace, a golden necklace, so they didn't know who to give it. So they decided, all the 8 of them, when they arrived to Israel, very young, my mother was maybe 14, to
Mhm.
melt it and make a ring for everybody with their mother initial on that. But the people that read the book and see me or call me, can we see the ring? Yesterday, I had dinner with 2 people that read my book. The first question is, where is the ring? The ring is on my finger. But immediately the first question, can we see the ring? People want, because it describes there how they dealt with it. So people ask me, where is the ring when I met with them? But if any of your listeners or you or your friends or your family get the book, please write a review on Amazon. And because this will help us. And remember, I don't take a penny from the book. It all goes to help peace in the Middle East, help these people to
Wonderful.
live in peace. Enough with this world. Enough.
Right. Peace is priceless.
Peace is priceless. And I show how we can reach it. The problem is that there are billions and billions, trillions of dollars for weapon of mass destruction.
Mhm. Right? Yeah,
Do you know
exactly.
a
Oh,
small portion of that would bring
mm,
peace? But we have
yes.
to beg, like beggars, to ask for money from people in order to be able to do what we do. And if I would have more money, more people could be involved, peace would have come
Mhm.
faster.
Yep, I totally
Yeah.
agree. There's a lot of oligarchy control going on.
Listen, one of these rich people can carry all the conference. It
Oh my
costs
gosh.
$400,000 a conference. For this rich people, it's nothing. It's peanuts.
There's a lot of depravity in the world that could be ended just from one paycheck of some of the rich.
Correct.
Mhm. I wanna
One,
thank you so much. I wanna thank
one
you
of
so much
these
for
rich
being on.
people. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And it was a pleasure to talk to you. I just am sorry I cannot see you.
I'm sorry.
The
I'm in my
invisible
PJs.
person.
I'm sitting in my PJs I would not be pleased to look at.
You know, I had a student here till the minute your link came, and I said
Mhm.
to him, one good thing that it's not on Zoom or any other platform that they have to see me. I don't
Mm.
have to put makeup. I'm wearing my sweatshirt.
We used to do a lot of things, but I have found that this just makes it more relaxed. I love my guests to be able to just feel like you're sitting down having a chat with a friend and having a cup of coffee or tea or whatever you
I wish I
prefer.
could have a cup of coffee with you. You are in Ohio. Not
Yes,
too
I
far
am.
from me. Not too far. Not too
Nice.
far. You can come to Chicago. The dinner will be on me. I'm
Oh,
inviting you.
wonderful.
We
Well,
can continue to talk.
I'm telling you right now, you're more than welcome to come back anytime. I am sure that there are dozens of stories that we can talk about.
Oh, there are very
And
funny stories that I can tell you that are in my book.
wonderful. Well, hit me back up. Let's get back up on Podmatch and we can make some room. I can peel up as the beginning of the next year comes, we can actually lot you off some spaces if you really want to do it. Okay?
Good. I like to
Wonderful.
talk to you. You are nice.
Well, thank you. I like to be thought of that way.
Well, you are nice. You are laughing. All
Oh,
the others are very serious, but nobody is laughing like you. You are
well,
laughing. It's
well,
nice.
thank you. Thank you. I try to make it I love for people to give their viewpoint on the world, and you're talking about something I would agree on, peace. I agree that people should come together, and so I will always make room on my platform for that, always.
I just was all the months of August in Israel. I saw my participants from the West Bank too. I was on the
Mm.
border with Gaza. Yeah, I don't just talk. I do. I met with
That
my participants.
Yes, you do, and I appreciate that. Well, thank you so much for being on with us. I actually had to create 2 videos because I did not wanna stop you talking because I truly enjoy it. We tried to do 20 minutes, and we are way over that, but I
Oh,
really
we are
enjoyed
almost
talking.
an hour.
I know. I'm gonna be editing a while, putting it all together, but that's fine. If I have to do several slots, it's fine. I really enjoyed speaking with you, and like I said,
I told you I
get with
had a lot of funny experiences. Are you still recording? If you record, take this story out, please. But I was invited to lecture in a conference in Morocco, and it was in Marrakesh, beautiful hotel. But in the US, you, you enter the first floor, but in the rest of the world, first floor is a floor above. So I arrived very late, and all what I remember is that the person that helped me, we took an elevator. And the
Uh-huh,
way the numbers were, first number was the number of the building, second number was the number of the floor, and the last two numbers were the numbers of the room. So it was late at night. I don't know where I am. After breakfast, I go to my room. So I remember I took an elevator. I must be on the second floor. So I go
mhm.
to the second floor. My room is 53. I put it in. It doesn't open. I go to the reception and I said, it doesn't open. They said, did you put in your key next to your cell phone? I said, yes. They said, therefore, you cannot open it. So what's your room number? So I said, one, the building, two, the floor, 53. So they give me the keys. I go, I put it in, the door open, all dark, and a man jumps out of bed. So I said to myself, I did not order this service. What are they providing a service like that here? I did not order it. I said, what are you doing here? And he said, what are you doing here? So I said, it's my room. And he said, it's my room. So we go back and forth like that. And then in the dark, I see a huge black suitcase. And mine is orange. So I ran away and I got my mistake. And I ran to the reception before he could run to complain. And I said, I made a mistake. It's 11553. He gave me the keys and I disappeared. Till today, I don't know who was the man, but he probably was in my conference and knew who I was. But he never told me. But my first reaction, I said, oh, I was told about a lot of services in Morocco, but this service, nobody told me. This was my first reaction. So when I came and told it to everybody, they said only to you, something like that.
Oh my! Well, I'm glad it was dark.
Can you imagine? You think you are going into your room, and a man jumps out
Oh
of
my
bed.
gosh! I think I would have peed myself a little.
No, I said, "What are you doing here?" I did not leave. Obviously, and he
Well,
wasn't exactly dressed. He was with his underwear.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for being with us this evening.
Thank you.
I'm sadly I have to cut it here because I'm gonna be editing for a little while tonight, but you were so worth it. Thank you so much for being with
Thank you. You made me laugh, and laughing is good for the health.
It is.
Okay,
It very
thank you
much
very
is.
much.
Well, thank you. Thank you to our listeners.
I've
Guys, until
been,
next time. Go ahead, Zafra.
no, I wanted to say happy Thanksgiving. I thought we are finished already.
Oh, we are.
Now that you
We are.
take it, I hope you will not put on, you will not leave the last story, please. You will
Okay.
take it out, okay?
Would you want me to take it out?
What, the story about the man, you want to
Oh,
leave
no,
it? Okay.
I think it's awesome. We're live. It's already
Really?
out there.
Oh my God.
It's live. It's already out there. I love it. I love it. We're leaving it. And you come back. Talk to me on Podmatch and let's make some dates. We can make several across the board for this coming year. And you made my year very thankful for having you on and thankful for what you do for the world in general. So thank you again. Thank you to our listeners. Until next time, guys, bye bye for now.